Welcome you back to the Trump Marina Hotel and Casino. We're in Atlantic City. We come now to our main event. Monte Barrett, 17-0 in his young career against Greg Page, who's been around, I think, since dirt. And Greg Page preparing to make his entrance now. He's never been a big splashy guy. He's pretty much all business. Always some question about his quickness, and that's still a big question about Greg Page, and one he's going to have to try to answer. He spends, as we said, most of his time these days training fighters.
But since he embarked on this unlikely comeback in 1996, he has fought 17 times, has won 16 of those, and had a draw. So he has yet to lose in this comeback phase.
Fighting club fighters for the most part in Nashville. And here is, that's not Monte Barrett, but Monte going thematic tonight.
Well, he'll have to go a long way to beat Hector Camacho's entrance into the ring, which he was carried in. But I hear the Clint Eastwood music.
Yep.
I think we have a Western theme going.
Eddie Mustafa Muhammad in the corner. There's Monte, the Queen's Cowboy. Monte hiring an ensemble.
Yes, he brought in some very impressive gunslingers to precede him into the ring here tonight. There you see them behind him, Monte.
America's Most Wanted. And Greg Page is just kind of ignore this whole charade here. Monte Barrett, as you see, we said 17-0. He's 18-0 with 12 knockouts, 27 years old. Former football player, could have gone to college and played football. Greg Page, well, he's been in there on no less than 66 occasions. His knockouts are not all of the one-punch variety. 38 years young, he would tell you. To the center of the ring now, and Thomas Triber.
From the Trump Marina in Atlantic City, New Jersey, America presents, and the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proudly present to you our featured bout. It is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. Commissioner is Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman is Gerard Gormley Jr., and members of the board are Gary Shaw and Stephen Katz. Deputy Commissioner is John Kreco, and the physicians at ringside are Dr. Dominic Coletta and Dr. Eric Wormser. The timekeeper is Roosevelt Gilbert, and the matchmaker is Tom Brown. The three judges assigned, scoring on a 10-point must system, are Calvin Claxton, Emil Conforte, and John Riley. When the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action will be Earl Brown. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our main event. 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting to my left out of the red corner, he's wearing white trunks with black trim and weighed in at 244 pounds. Coming to us from Las Vegas, Nevada, he has a professional record of 53 wins, 12 losses, 1 draw, with 43 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the former WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Greg Page. And his opponent, fighting directly across from him out of the blue corner, he's wearing white trunks with red trim and weighed in at 217 pounds. Hailing from Queens, New York, he is undefeated with 18 wins and 12 of them coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Monte Two Guns Barrett. Once again, your referee in charge, Earl Brown, now to give the instructions.
All right, gentlemen, let's keep this very clean. Let's keep it very professional. When I ask you to break, I want you to stop punching and step back. Protect yourselves at all times, you hear me? All right, you must obey my commands at all.
Greg Page not looking at Monte Barrett. He did not look at Barrett yesterday at the weigh-in, and that really ticked Barrett off. And Barrett felt that he was being dissed by Page yesterday because of that, because Page has basically turned his back on him.
Said, I don't like Greg Page. See if the feeling's mutual.
Yeah, he felt that Page is quite rude.
And Greg Page opens up on young Monte Barrett immediately here. That's very uncharacteristic of Greg Page. Page is the guy who will wear you down. I mean, literally wear you down. He'll lean on you, keep you against the ropes. been in with the best.
Oh, yes. He turned pro way back in 1979, Barry. That's a long time ago. Won the WBA heavyweight championship in '84 in South Africa with an 8th-round KO of Jerry Coetzee.
Got away with a low blow there.
Page has never presented a svelte appearance in the ring. I mean, you may look at him and say, oh, he's out of shape, but basically this is kind of how he's always looked. He fought a lot of his fights, even in his heyday in the 80s, up in the 240 and 240 plus range.
And when we say he's not quick, we're not talking about his hands. He's always had pretty quick hands.
Yes.
He just hasn't been able to get out of his own way sometimes. Hasn't let Monte Barrett get off here in this first round.
I think he really surprised Barrett with that initial onslaught, Barry. As soon as the bell rang, he came out firing. Very good first round for Page, at least so far through the first half of the first round. He's landed some very clean blows. Now, it's likely he'll have this hand quickness now, but if the fight, stretches on into the later rounds, with Page being 39, almost 40, turns 40, in fact, in, I think, 2 more days, you might see some of that hand speed diminishing.
There's a right hand by Barrett.
Come on, let it go. Break.
Now, Greg Page had the misfortune of being the other fighter from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, and there were a lot of people, when Greg came up, he did have those quick hands, and he was a pretty good boxer who moved around the ring pretty good, so people naturally would compare him with Ali. And that's a lot to put on a young kid coming up.
Yeah, it really is.
That's true in any sport, I mean, when you called Harold Miner, everybody was calling Harold Miner Baby Jordan,
There's a good right hand.
That didn't do him any good, I don't think, and just put initial pressure on him.
Let it go.
No, I think that's absolutely true. I mean, all the years I grew up, of course, watching Willie Mays play center field, and every backup center fielder that the Giants had was the heir apparent to Willie Mays.
Now, Page trying to get that jab to work now if he can.
Well, a very effective first round for Greg Page. We're going 10, and Barrett not yet on track.
Watch out. Break. Hold on.
Well, there's a cut over the left eye of Monte Barrett, and we spoke with Earl Brown, the referee, and he said it was not caused by a headbutt. It was caused by a punch.
Come on, don't hold him.
We get a chance to mention that working in the corner of Monte Barrett as he stings Page with a left hand and another. And Page comes right back with a double right hand.
I think Page is a little hurt, a little bit wobbly, but now he's fighting a little bit from instinct, too, which means firing back.
I was going to say in the corner of Monte Barrett is Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, who I think has just done excellent work recent years with young fighters.
Don't hold him. Watch out.
It was Barrett who came out winging at the start of this round.
Back up.
He wasn't going to be taken by surprise again at the start here of round 2.
Come on, let him go. Break.
Interestingly enough, I cannot see the cut now that the fight has started, but there's blood on the trunks of Barrett, and they were working on the cut in the corner between rounds.
Now Page trying to get his left jab to work. It's always been a good jab.
Uppercut from Barrett.
Page held that title in that era of really unfortunate era, I think, for heavyweight boxing. I mean, there were just a lot of guys who you wouldn't think of in terms of heavyweight champions of the world. I mean, you had Larry Holmes, who was the legitimate champion, and then you had the other organizations going ahead and being represented by people like Tony Tubbs and Coetzee, Michael Dokes, Mike Weaver, that whole crowd, Trevor Berbick. They just kind of gave the title back and forth. They certainly didn't excite many, and I don't think they'll go down in the history books as great fighters.
Barrett seems to have settled down a little bit here in this second round.
Page just trying to get himself back together after surviving that quick onslaught by Barrett.
Break.
But Page has fought most of the top guys of the era. Razor Ruddock, Bruce Seldon, we mentioned Coetzee, Tony Tubbs, Buster Douglas, Ronaldo Snipes, Tim Witherspoon, Bone Crusher Smith, all of those guys.
Almost a low blow from Page. Barrett has the moniker double left hand, and that gets Page going sideways. I was going to say he has the moniker two guns that would play havoc with any English teacher in America, wouldn't it? G-U-N-Z.
5 seconds, gentlemen, 5 seconds.
Just went along with his Western motif.
That's true.
And his cowgirls gunslingers.
Well, Monte Barrett, 18 wins, undefeated, feels somewhere along the line. He's got to take that step up. Why not tonight against the veteran Greg Page?
So basically, that's what I want. I told my manager, I told my promoter, you know, to fight the best and be the best, you got to fight near the best or equal to your skills. So what I want to do, I just want to upgrade the competition, you know, stay focused, get up for these fights, and then take it to another level. And I don't want to sit around and keep fighting bums, because when you fight bums, you become a bum.
I don't think Monte has to worry about that.
No, but I like that attitude. And I think there's other fighters that could learn from that.
Well, he's a bright guy. He's married. He's got a couple of kids. We met one of his daughters today, 5 years old. Has another girl as well. He's in the construction business and still runs his own business.
And he said that, you know, he wasn't one of those guys who got into boxing because he had to have the money. And he said, in fact, when he started boxing as a pro, he was making $40,000 a year in the construction business. And there aren't many pro boxers who you can say that about.
Nice combination that time by Barrett. Started to the body and then came up. That's the jab of Greg Page. Still strong.
Well, you never forget how to throw it. And Page has always had a good one.
I think the problem is sometimes you forget to bring it back.
Come on, no, don't spin him now. Break. Come on. Go.
Monte Barrett was 37-3 as an amateur, two-time New York Golden Gloves champion. As Barry mentioned, he was quite a football player. He had scholarships after being an all-city linebacker in New York. And scholarship offers from Grambling and Eastern Carolina and Southern Mississippi. But he never took the SAT, and he ended up going to community college. He said, you know, I was a street kid. That's why I didn't take the SAT. And he went to play football at a community college, and unfortunately for him, they ended their football program. So he needed something else, and it was boxing.
It's worked out just fine for him.
Let him go. Punch out.
Very impressed by the fact that he had a couple of phone calls from Eddie Robinson, who was then the coach at Grambling.
Monte Barrett's nose is bloodied now, and again, I think that's the result of that educated jab from Greg Page.
Good body shot from Barrett. Barrett's fighting a smart fight. He's just in there with a guy who's been around the track.
Break. Come on, guys, break. Get back.
Oh, that's excellent work with the left hook, Barry. He tripled up on it.
Now he's got Page holding on.
Go hold him. Come on, punch out, guys. Punch out. Break.
Looks to me as though Monte Barrett is having a little trouble with his breathing, that blood in the nose.
So we start to wind down the third round. A pretty effective round by and large for Monte Barrett of Queens. We'll be back. We welcome you back. We move on. Round number 4.
Greg Page has got to get that jab to work again because Barrett's beginning to walk through his punches now, beginning to lose respect, I think, for Page and coming forward in sometimes a reckless fashion. Page has got to keep him off.
Now there seems to be a little blood alongside the left eye of Greg Page, unless that's just from Monte Barrett.
Greg Page retired in 1993. Then he came back 3 years later, 1996. We mentioned the fact that he fought 17 times. And to underscore Barry's point that it was against low-level opposition, he's knocked out 13 guys in the first round of those 17 fights.
Another double left hand from Monte Barrett. Barrett slowly starting to take control of this fight. This is the fourth round of our main event in the heavyweight division. Monte Barrett 18-0 against the veteran Greg Page. Barrett looking to step up amongst the wannabes in the heavyweight division, and this fight, of course, would move him up a couple of notches. Page started quickly, but Barrett started to turn things his way.
Come on, don't hold him, don't hold him. Come on, Rick. Go.
Page isn't done yet here, Barry. He's still got some spring in his legs.
Oh, yeah.
He showed with that right hand that he can still get a punch off fairly quickly.
Barrett does have a tendency every now and then to lunge with his punches, and the guy who's been around as much as Greg Page could take advantage of that.
Now, Page, remember, we're talking about 40-year-old reflexes. Even if you're in pretty good shape, the reflexes never do come back. And he's having a little trouble now getting away from punches that he avoided in rounds 1 and 2.
Can't seem to extricate himself from this position near the corner.
Go. Rick. Step back, step back. Go.
Both guys are bleeding from the nose. Barrett's a little frustrated at times, but he was trying to feint Page. He was looking down at the floor.
There you go. Watch out, guys.
He is frustrated, but we should point out that Greg Page, down through the years, it's very difficult to look good against him. He makes you look bad. Even if you're victorious against him, it's rarely a smashing type victory that catches everyone's attention.
He's actually fighting more tonight than I've seen him do, especially in his heyday. I mean, he would grab and clutch and spin you and turn you and really get you frustrated.
There's Monte Barrett, a little bit frustrated, but hoping to make a good splash tonight as one of the really young guys coming up. Question mark behind his name, really. Does he belong with the guys who are taking over these young guns coming in of Grant and Tua and Ibiabuchi and Clay Bay, and there's others as well. David Izanrite, Ed Mahone, they're all making some noise. And look at those guys who want one more shot, Barry. They're still around. Ray Mercer, he's never even had a shot at the title, believe it or not.
Ray Mercer is another one of those dangerous guys. I think guys don't want to fight him because he has a tendency to fight better in the bigger fights.
Well, he fought great against Holyfield. He fought great against Lennox Lewis. He's a tough, tough guy.
Yeah, he is.
Some good clean punches landed by Monte Barrett in that round. And what he does a lot of times, he doubles up on the jab and then follows it with the right cross. That's like a textbook type punch there, just the way you practice it in the gym.
Round 5, and immediately Barrett trying to take the fight to Page. I think your point is well taken. Barrett's starting to walk through Page now.
And Page finding it more difficult to get off the ropes, finding it more difficult to spin. He's trying to rest here and just use his wiles, Barry, and savvy to tie up a man or to elude punches.
Well, Page really doesn't even want to get out of that corner. Quick right hand by Page.
Yeah, but he was jabbing earlier in the fight. He's not doing that right now. He's pot-shotting, and that can be successful. It was for him right there, that right hand. But he's hoping to catch Barrett with a Sunday shot and turn things around.
And that's not his game. Good uppercut from Barrett. Snapped the head of Page back.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen that tonight from Barrett.
There was the jab of Page, but you see he left it out there.
Page needs some movement to go along with his repertoire. He's trying to bounce up and down, get his rhythm going, get his legs going here once again. Trying to bring his legs to life, really, and to get his whole demeanor in the ring back to normal, or what was normal for him.
He started very quickly in this fight. Had Barrett on his heels, and now Barrett starting to take the fight to Page. In fact, he has for the last 2-3 rounds. Quick right hand from Barrett.
See, a guy like Greg Page should not be getting hit with right-hand leads like that.
Come on, Greg, let it go, Greg. Let it go. Watch out.
Now Page really having trouble getting off Barry, not only eluding punches, but just getting, he's just standing there looking for an opening, and things aren't clicking into gear for him to launch his punches.
There's a double uppercut from Barrett. 2 good punches there from Monte.
Come on, watch out.
Barrett really starting to control this fight now. Turned it completely from the early rally of Greg Page. And to 5. We'll be back. We welcome you back. We come to round 6. Greg Page is going to have to find something that has not been there for the last couple of rounds. Working the jab, as you see Rich's scorecard, with Barrett comfortably in front now.
For Page to find his rhythm again, he's going to have to get his jab to work to some effect to keep Barrett out there at the edge of his punches, but Barrett just walking straight ahead, even with hands down.
Yeah.
Don't hold him. Let him go. Let him go. Punch out. Punch out. Come on, punch out. Punch out. Don't hold him. Don't hold him, Greg.
Referee Earl Brown lets them separate themselves.
Come on, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Punch out. Come on, break.
Page at this point can only fight in spurts, it seems, and they're coming fewer and more far between.
Yeah.
Come on, let him go. Let him go. Come on, punch out. Punch out.
He got him with the left hand there, but it didn't have much on it. This is what Greg Page will do. He'll lean on you and
Break. Don't punch. Don't punch.
wear you out, but that doesn't win fights.
No, but that's why it's hard to look good against him.
Right.
But I think what's important here for Monte Barrett is to get the win, to win fairly convincingly, and to get the notch on his belt, and be the first name fighter he's fought and beat. There are guys with some semi-names. For example, he beat Mitchell Rose, whose claim to fame was that he beat Butterbean. Right. The only guy that beat Butterbean.
Long reaching right hand from Barrett. And an uppercut. That's probably been his best weapon of the night.
I'll tell you, the addition of Eddie Mustafa Muhammad in his corner isn't going to hurt him.
No, it's going to help him. Eddie, not only a good trainer, but an excellent strategist. Always keeps his fighter's mind on business and keeps it very controlled corner.
He said he's been looking at tapes with Eddie. They're studying other fighters, great fighters, and trying not to copy them, but just to take some of their good points. He mentioned Bob Foster on several times.
Yes, he did.
That's who he's really looking at.
There was a left hand that Page never saw.
Watch out. Watch out.
And things continue to go pretty much the way they have been in the favor of Monte Barrett. We welcome you back as Greg Page and Monte Barrett come to the center of the ring for round 7. It has been all Barrett in the last, I guess you could say, 4 rounds.
Greg Page in that last round seemed to be shifting into survival mode. He was really hanging on Barrett a lot, clinching. And he's a guy with a lot of experience, Page. He knows just about every trick there is. So Barrett's going to have to deal with that if he wants to get him out of there.
Page complaining about the slap. Did get there with a right hand of his own, but Page's punches coming in numbers of only 1. Barrett, on the other hand, seems to be puffing a little bit too. I don't think he's quite as strong as he was. He draws a little warning from Earl Brown. Barrett has only gone 10 rounds once. That was in his last fight.
That warning was for hitting on the break.
Break, step back. Right.
But he's getting held a lot here, and that's going to add to his frustration.
Come on, punch out.
As we mentioned, he's come into the ring dressed as Captain America and Zorro.
Superman.
Yes, we had him on as Superman. There was talk that in his last fight, which was not televised, that he came into the ring as the full Monte. But no one seems to confirm that for us. There is that rumor out there, though.
Page did get there with a left hand, missed with an uppercut. Time ticking down in round 7. We're going 10. And a point is being deducted from Monte Barrett. Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought Earl Brown was taking a point away. He's not. He's just getting the mouthpiece of Greg Page. So momentary timeout.
I'm sure Page appreciates all those timeouts.
A little welt forming under the left eye of Greg Page.
All right, let's go.
Page just has to pick his spots too much because he can't fight a full 3 minutes of the round.
End of round 7.
Just as round 7 ended, Greg Page landed his best punch of the fight, a clean right hand that Barrett walked right into, and I mean, it straightened him up and then bent him right over.
So we'll see if Greg Page can go to school off of that. Do a little bit more business. He has had the fight taken away from him since probably the 2nd or 3rd round. There was a left hand by Barrett, and that got Page going backwards.
And it looked like it shook him a little bit. He had kind of that blank look on his face.
Page's legs don't look too steady right at the moment.
I think that left hook right at the beginning of the round, Barry, really might have taken the starch right out of Page.
And a quick right hand. Eddie Muhammad wants Barrett to come after Page now.
Go.
Page has been stopped only 4 times in his career. Twice, interestingly enough, by Mark Wills.
Break.
Figure that one.
Yeah. The other times by Bruce Selden and Donovan Ruddick.
Now a big cut over the left eye of Monte Barrett, and that'll all of a sudden send, I'm sure, a surge of adrenaline for Greg Page.
That's the same cut that was opened in the 1st round, but now it is really bleeding heavily.
It just blew open in this round.
Page doesn't seem too anxious.
Punch out. Let's go.
Still a long way to go in this round. That's a pretty nasty cut.
And remember, there was no headbutt here. If that cut gets really bad and this fight had to be stopped, we would not go to the cards.
Break.
He would just be stopped on cuts. So that gives Page something to shoot for, if that, depending upon how bad that cut gets.
Come on, Greg. Watch out.
So there'll be some drama in that corner at the end of this round.
Come on, punch out. Break. Go.
That was a right hand, a left hand by Barrett, and that knocked Page into the corner. And another left hand. And Page is in trouble now. Page is ready to go.
In fact, he just can't get out of that corner, Barry. He's going to have to use all of his experience here to try to tie his man up or to fight his way out.
He could get out of that corner both figuratively and literally. If he did get out of it, he'd have landed on his nose. But he does get through the round. He was rocked. And there's some work to be done in the corner, meanwhile, of Monte Barrett.
Yeah, they're going to work on it right now.
Nice and relax. Here we go.
Great work by Barrett at the end of the round. And look, that's the left hook that did the damage. There you see Page stumble back into the corner, put his hand on the ropes to straighten himself, steady himself for a moment. And Barrett really went to work. Left hook. Page's legs gave way. He had to steady himself. And then Barrett really just belabouring him in that corner.
I can tell you one thing Eddie Mustafa Muhammad will work on with Monte Barrett. That is, he's reaching with his punches. He's really not getting the power he should. He's still able to knock Greg Page back with those punches, but he's not really setting down on him. He's kind of coming forward when he throws those punches, almost on his toes.
And what happens when that occurs is you hit it with the tail end of the punches, and the power has already evaporated.
Round number 9, and Page unable to do anything about the cut that opened up big time on Barrett in that last round. It's a cut that's been there the whole fight, but it really opened up the last round, and he couldn't do any business. And conversely, Barrett went after Page and almost got him out of there. Right hand by Barrett. Now there he was in punching range.
Page is trying to fight back here. Doesn't have the legs at this point in the fight now to get away.
Left hand again, and he staggers into the corner. Just trying to work on ring savvy. Earl Brown taking a long look here. Interestingly enough, Page would usually tie his man up in this situation. He hasn't been wont to do that. Still not.
19 years as a professional, 65 professional fights, and Greg Page is having to call on all of his experience here, every little bit of it, and try to use clever tricks in the corner to tie up his man.
Earl Brown doing a pretty good job officiating here, as he will not let Page lay in on Barrett. Two guns, I think, was the cry.
You read that well.
And Page now just hanging on here, literally. Cut over Barrett's eyes, opened up again, but it doesn't seem to bother him. There's a good shot to the body, and then he brought it up with the uppercut.
Yeah, I love that combination. That was Mike Tyson's greatest combination, that right hand to the body and the right uppercut following it. He was as brilliant at utilizing that particular combination as anyone I've ever seen.
So Page trying to survive into the 10th and final round. Don't believe the fight is winnable for him unless he can find something that doesn't appear possible.
He may be going back to training fighters full-time after this one.
Good right hand again by Barrett, and a left hand behind it. Blood pouring down the face of Monte Barrett. And another combination. And Page is reeling. But apparently we'll get through this 9th round as well. Into 9.
Last round, let's go.
And on your card, Rich, Greg Page would have to score a knockout or have a 10-4 round.
He's that 6 knockdown.
Yes, that's right.
round.
Barrett has just owned the fight since very early on. Page came out gunning. Good building block victory for Monte Barrett.
Well, that's it. That's exactly the way to put it, Barrett, because he's got to take these little steps up, fight more impressive fighters who have been there, fighters who he can learn from while defeating them.
Well, you could tell this guy's still learning, and he's still learning his craft by his own admission. But he does have some skills. He appears to be strong. I mean, he's hurting guys with punches that, as you said earlier, he's not really setting down on. He's lunging, and he's still getting guys hurt. Has shown the ability to jab, maybe not quite as often as Eddie Mustafa Muhammad might want him to.
Come on. Great. There we go. Back up. Good.
They've done a really good job on that cut. Happened in the 1st round, opened up again in the 8th round.
All right.
Bled a little bit toward the end of the 9th round, but nothing now.
Let me go. Stop.
One of our telecasts maybe will have Monte explain all those tattoos on him. He's got a lot of them, and they've all got a story, a fairly complex story behind each one of them.
Good work inside by Barrett. Barrett showing very good conditioning, too. I mean, he's not dropped off in his attack at all.
No, and I just, what we're seeing here, Barry, is basically, I mean, we're seeing a guy who's got 27-year-old reflexes against a guy who's got 40-year-old reflexes.
That's precisely. Everybody sees the success of the George Foremans and the Larry Holmes, at least in terms of earning the dollars. Everybody wants a little piece of it.
Well, George isn't doing it with quick reflexes.
No, he's not. Doing it the same way he did it 20 years ago.
Come on, don't hold him. Break. Step back.
30 seconds left for Greg Page to get through this one on his feet. But the result is inevitable.
Come on, let him go, Greg. Let him go.
And showing some wear and tear in his face now is Page's left eye beginning to swell, close up a little bit.
Break. 5 seconds, guys. 5 seconds.
Well, Monte Barrett's a guy who says, I didn't choose boxing. He said boxing chose me. And I think right now he's probably pretty happy he was chosen. Not a bad performance at all for Monte Barrett. He's a work in progress. But this will be a very good win for him. So the decision, I don't believe, is in doubt. We'll find out officially exactly how it went. We'll chat with the winner. All of that on the other side of this commercial break. Don't go away. We're coming back to Atlantic City. We welcome you back. We have had our main event, and Monte Barrett, we believe, will get away with a rather convincing decision. In fact, why don't we find out right now as we take it to the center of the ring and Thomas Triber. Tom?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards and we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges are in agreement, scoring the bout exactly the same, 99-91. All in favor of your winner, Monte Two Guns Barrett.
Well, Two Guns used both guns tonight. Good victory for him. Good step up for him. As we said, he's a work in progress, but I really believe he's got the right people with him. And better things are yet to come for Monte Barrett. We'll take a lap before he winds up coming back to our own Rich Murata, and he's being escorted over right now. We take you up to the center of the ring. Rich Murata with Monte Barrett. Rich?
All right, we'll get him turned around here. Okay, Monte, a good win for you. Impressive victory tonight. You managed to take on a guy who was a former world champ. Let me ask you about the first round. It appeared as though he kind of took you by surprise in round number 1. Of course, he's always been a boxer, but he came out banging. Was that true?
Yeah, at first I just want to give thanks to Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior, who was with me all the way through this fight. Then I want to give thanks to America Presents and Joe DeGuardia, my manager and promoter, for having the faith in me to take this opponent. And I want to give thanks to Eddie Muhammad, my new trainer, and Al Davis, my old trainer, and Jimmy Glenn for believing in me, and they pushed me for camp.
All right, now we're running out of time.
Okay, Greg Page. Yes, baby. Greg Page, he was a former world champion. I looked at the tape on him, and I seen he was a seasoned. He was a vet. And these are things that me and Eddie and Al worked on in the camp. And, you know, certain things, when you get in the ring and it's just you and that person, certain times you forget little things, but we're going to go back into the gym and work hard so this way it all becomes original and not mechanic.
Did he, in fact, surprise you at the very beginning of the fight with that original onslaught?
No, because I seen tape on the first 3 rounds. He came out winging, and it was something we was prepared for. I just kept my hands up. I made a lot of mistakes, but I'm still a baby. I'm still learning.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you again real soon in the future. It looks like you're on your way up, Monte. Thanks a lot.
Thank all my family, friends, and all the people who supported me, and my foes.
All right.
I couldn't make it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Monte. There they go. A lot of happy guys, a lot of thanks being dished out.
A lot of thanks. Don't go away. We're coming back to Atlantic City right after this.
Try your